Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our English class. It's me again, Teacher Lani. Are you ready for another day of fun and learning? That's great. Me too. Let's begin. We have been learning about the different letters of the alphabet. Let's review our lesson last time. What letter is this again? That's right, it's the letter S. And what sound does it make? That's correct. Like a snake. Let's sing our letter S sound song. The snake is on the grass. The snake is on the grass. The snake is on the grass. But aside from a snake, what other words start with S? Let's find out by playing a guessing game. Let's begin. I'm thinking of a word that starts with S and it's used for cutting. What is it? That's right. The answer is scissors. Next, I'm thinking of a word that starts with S and we put them on our feet before our shoes. Very good. The answer is socks. Wow, very good, everyone. Now let's go to our lesson for today. To introduce it to you, I will be telling you a short story. Before I begin, let's prepare our looking eyes and our listening ears. Here we go. A camping trip. Tim the turtle and Troy the tiger love going on adventures. One day, they went on a camping trip. They set up the tent beside the tree. When it was time to eat, Troy the tiger said, "Oh no, we don't have a table." But Tim the turtle said, "That's okay. I brought a mat. Let's have a picnic instead." And they had lots of fun together. The end. Did you enjoy that story? That's awesome. Now let's review these 5 words from the story. Turtle, tiger, tent, tree, and table. What do you notice about these 5 words? That's right. Good observation, class. They all start with the letter T. And the sound of letter T is t, t, t. To help us remember that sound, I'm going to teach you 2 more action words. T, t, tap and talk. Here's our letter T sound song. Tap and talk. T, t, t. Tap and talk. T, t, t. Tap and talk. T, t, t. Tap, tap, tap and talk, talk, talk. Thank you, everyone. Now, to check if you remember our lesson today, let's play a learning game. If the picture starts with the letter T, stand up and gently tap your head. But if it does not, then just sit down. Are you ready? Let's begin. What's that? Tent. Tent. Yes, stand up and tap your head because tent starts with t, t, t. Next, how about socks? Socks. What should your action be? Nice work, everyone. Just sit down. And now, these last photos are very special to all of us. What are these? The flag and the map of Taiwan. And I see you're all doing great. Because yes, Taiwan also starts with t, 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 Taiwan. Good job, everyone. Let's give ourselves an around the world clap. Okay, now for our last activity, we're going to answer a worksheet. I will give you a few minutes to finish this. Great job, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining and for participating in our class today. Till our next one. Goodbye, everyone.